Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Tuesday the 25th of March 2025. Let's get into it. Game today, under 21 game today, away at Colchester United, and it was a win, a 1-0 win. So this is from millfc.co.uk, but got a problem. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Millwall under-21s were 1-0 winners over Colchester United in the Professional Development League on Tuesday afternoon. Kevin Nugent's side moved back to the top of the Premier Development League South table after a narrow 1-0 victory over Colchester United at Wallace Binder Stadium. The first half was a tight affair, missing an F there, with neither side managing to capitalise in the final third. AJ Matthews found the only goal of the game, when his header at the far post made its way past Hugh's stopper. And there he is again, the young lad that we signed from Middlesbrough. Scored quite a few goals now. He seems to be a natural goal scorer. The Lions managed to hold on to their lead for the remaining 30 minutes and make the trip back to SC16 with all 3 points. The Lions Premier League South title rivals Brentford under-21s were also in action on Tuesday afternoon. However, they fell to an 8-1 defeat. Yes, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-1 defeat to Bournemouth. The Bees have a game in hand on Kevin Nugent's side as they trail by 2 points. It's a 7-day break for the under-21s before they return to action at the Den next Tuesday. Ticket information for that match can be found here. So they're already selling tickets for it, so it seems to be set. Now this is my problem. This is not the team. This is the team for the last game. This is the team for, I think, the Bristol City win. Okay. So, what I'm gonna tell you the team now. That's not the team. The team was actually quite a young team because Colchester United at the bottom of the table. So I imagine, they didn't need to go all guns blazing, but they only managed to squeak a 1-0 win. So the team was as follows: Przewozny in goal, Beaumont, Drake, Massey, Taylor, Ollie Evans, Howland, Lamptey, Celestine Charles, Matthews, Kendall. The subs were Lindner, Mansour, Whitby, Abdelaziz and Frankie Baker. And the subs that got made were Baker and Mansour came on for Lamptey and Celestine Charles in the 71st minute. And that seems to be it. That was it. So, there you go. That is the actual team. This is not the team. I don't know how they copy and pasted the team from the previous match report. But yeah, I don't know why they did that. Probably for spelling, because obviously you got Przewozny. You don't want to be typing that out every time. But yeah, like they said, top of the table. Lovely jubbly. Look at that. Look at that. Fantastic. Now, obviously, we only need to finish in the top 2. Obviously, it's advantageous to finish top because you play the team that's second of the North Division if you finish top. And it gives you home advantage. You get home because it's not 2-legged, it's 1-legged, and you get home advantage. And I think for the final, whoever gets the most points gets home advantage if both teams are number ones, if that makes sense. So if we look at, okay, well, we can't because it doesn't come up, but don't worry about that. So here we are, 52 points, 1 point behind Brentford. They have a game in hand. So there you go. Look at that, lovely stuff. Absolutely fantastic. All guns blazing. They bombed out a load of players at the start in the summer. Brought in a whole load of new players. The youngsters coming up from the under-18s, and they are still doing it. They're still firing on all cylinders. Top of the table. Fantastic stuff. Best defence in the league. Only conceded 31 goals. What can you say? What can you say? So yeah, there you go. So here we go for the table. So Hull City, but then you've got Burnley. You've got 3 games in hand on Hull. So more likely to be Burnley finishing in that second place, I should say. Sheffield United are insanely good. So I think we would probably try to avoid them. They got a 46 goal difference. They've scored 68 and they've conceded only 22. But this division, I think it's weaker than the Southern Division, I should say. So obviously, how it works is the teams in your division, North or South, you play them home and away, but you only play the team from the North or South, whichever one you are, once, either home or away. So the teams in the North, they obviously play the other teams in the North home and away twice. So that's why I think it's a bit easier. Because you can look at Hull, they've won 15, they haven't drawn a game, they've lost 11. Very weird results here. Look at this. Fleetwood Town, 10 wins, 3 draws, 10 defeats. It's very... I don't think the quality is there, to be honest. I don't think it is there. So, there you go. But yeah, top of the table. Lovely stuff. And like I said, next Tuesday the 1st, April Fool's Day. Hopefully we're not the April Fools. We've got Barnsley at the Den. £5 to get in for that. 2 p.m. kickoff. And then these are the rest of the game. Not many games left. Most of these are at stadiums. Tuesday the 8th, 2 p.m. Sheffield United at the LNER Community Stadium, which is York City Stadium. Have you been to York City? It's a lovely town, York. Viking stuffs and all that. Then after that, Crew Alexandra at the Den. Tuesday the 15th. Bristol City away on St George's Day, Wednesday the 23rd of April. I think you might be able to go to that, I'm not too sure. Wigan, that's in a stadium, Brick Community Stadium. I don't know where. Is that Wigan's actual ground? That's Tuesday the 29th of April, 1 p.m. kickoff. And then Friday the 2nd of May, Hull City at the Den. Lovely stuff. And hopefully, after that game, they'll be handed the South Trophy. All things going well, that they win the league and they get the trophy handed to them after this, and then they'll be in the semi-final against probably Burnley or maybe even Hull, but I doubt it's going to be Hull. So there you go. Fantastic stuff. Now, moving on to this, we got some interviews with a manager or head coach. This is from southernnews.co.uk. Injury update. Millwall head coach gives update on George Honeyman, Femi Aziz and Macaulay Langstaff. Alex Neil is hopeful that Femi Aziz will make his return from a hamstring injury before the end of the season. Aziz, 23, limped off in the 79th minute of Mill's 2-0 loss to Leeds United on March the 12th and was ruled out for 4 weeks shortly after, with a winger being withdrawn at half-time during Mill's 2-0 loss to Bristol City on March the 4th with a similar problem. Well, Neil does not expect the ex-Reading player to be ready in time for the line trip to Sunderland on Saturday. Well, maybe we shouldn't be rushing him back then if he keeps having the same problem. Well, that's just me. Well, he's not going to be back in the next week or so, Neil told the News Den, when asked if Aziz will be back before the end of the season. Neil said, I would hope so. George Honeyman also came off against Leeds with a groin injury, although he's set to return to training soon as Aziz. George has made decent progress, so we'll see what happens with George today. That'll determine whether they train with the squad, maybe Thursday, Friday. Forward Macaulay Langstaff has been out since coming off the bench late on against Queen's Park Rangers on February the 1st. Macaulay Langstaff trained with us yesterday, but he didn't do the full session. So he'll be more probably of a slow burner coming back in. It's just a case of working his training minutes up this week, and then maybe next week I like to think he should be in full training. So there you go. And we've got similar, but we've got different. I don't know if we give different interviews to the South London Press and and the Southern News, or whether they've just written it up differently. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, which is the South London Press. Millwall striker steps up return from injury as boss updates on squad availability for Sunderland. Millwall striker Macaulay Langstaff has stepped up his return from injury. The 28-year-old, signed from Notts County last summer, has missed the last 10 matches for the Lions. Langstaff's last outing was an 89th minute substitute against QPR at the start of February. Millwall will be without Femi Aziz and Kamel Negley for Saturday's championship match at Sunderland. Well, Maka's back on the grass, so he's starting to do a bit more. Lions head coach Alex Neil told the South London Press. I'm hoping he'll get a week under his belt. George Honeyman is making decent progress, so I'm not sure he'll make the weekend though. Camille, he's still a bit away. He isn't back with us yet. Femi's not with us, he's still with the physios. Millwall set to resume action at the stadium a light after the international break. 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday. Neil said, at this time of the season, it's about the players getting a rest. We've lost Elise to the England under-20 squad. We lost Danny Kelly, who went away with Scotland. We lost Sav, went away with Northern Ireland, and Mihailo went away with Serbia. People think a lot of the time you've got loads to work on, but sometimes you lose key players, and then it's difficult. Equally, before the last game, I think we had 10 players missing for injury, which is a lot, for a variety of different reasons. And what that means is because the squad is condensed then, all those players are having to play those matches leading into the break. We have had quite a lot of 5-game blocks where we've gone Saturday, Tuesday. So from that perspective, I think the rest was the main thing. This week is about getting them ready to get their teeth back into it at the weekend. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Ryan Leonard obviously featured in the under-21 game on Friday at the training ground. Maybe back sooner rather than later. But again, please don't rush them back. We are obviously Alex Neil's playing for the playoffs. We're only 6 points away. But if we don't make it, we don't make it. Don't flog the players to death trying to make it. This is from the southernnews.co.uk. Mill boss when Ryan Leonard could return to the first team action. Ryan Leonard is in contention to be part of Mill's matchday squad for their trip to Sunderland on Saturday after missing the past 2 months with a significant calf injury, and Mill boss Alex Neil was confident he will be back in time for the Lions clash with Portsmouth at the Den on April the 5th. Leonard, 32, limped off in the 59th minute of Mill's 2-2 draw with Cardiff City on January the 21st. His replacement, Danny McNamara, suffered a season-ending knee injury 5 minutes after coming on. January signing Christian Kramer, typically a centre-back, and Wes Harding had played at right-back while the duo recover. Leonard played the first half of Millwall Under-21's 3-2 win against Bristol City last Friday, March the 21st, and could be set to make his first-team return on the weekend. Well, he played in the Under-21s on Friday. He played 45 minutes, no problem. Millwall boss Alex Neil told News It Then. He trained with us yesterday, so it's just a case of keep building and lining up. I don't think it'll be that long. Will he be ready for this weekend? Maybe, but I think it may be a little bit of a stretch. He could well be involved with the squad. Certainly in the game, I don't see why he couldn't play. So there you go. But yeah, so suggestion that he might be on the bench, but then I guess that suggests Wes Harding won't be on the bench. And again, from the Southern News, we've got Alex Neil talking about it's what we've just heard really, but I think it's slightly different. So the last week was mainly about trying to get rest into legs. Alex Neil and how Mill views the international break. Alex Neil thought the international break was vital to get rest into legs ahead of Mill's final 8 fixtures of the season. Progressing to the FA Cup 5th round and a trip to Fratton Park postponed from November meant that the Lions have played 18 games in 73 days in 2025, an average of a game every 4 days. Mill's squad had been pinched by injury during that stretch, giving Neil less opportunity to rotate his squad, meaning many needed a rest during a break. And then he talks about losing the players to international duties, got the 10 injuries. Then, to be honest, the last week was mainly about trying to get rest into legs, because we had so many injuries. And a lot of lads were away. A lot of game time has been taken up by the same players. It means that once they get to the end of that 5-game block, instead of doing more work, they probably need more rest than anything else, mentally as well as physically. We've given them quite a bit of rest, trained a few days with the week and give them the weekend off, and then this week's about trying to get us back on it and get us ready for the weekend. Yes, I hate the international break, even though we do have some players to keep an eye on during the international break, which we're going to do now. But man, can't wait. I can't wait for Saturday, 3 p.m, Sunderland away. Let's have it. International Lions, we got 3 of them today. Well, news of 3 of them, only 2 played. More on that in a minute. So, this is Northern Ireland. They had a friendly away in Sweden at the Strawberry Arena. Lovely. I wonder what that smells like. Probably feces and urine. They lost 5-1. Northern Ireland. They're trying to bring these younger players in. I don't think they're up for it yet. I don't think they have the quality really. I think most of their players are probably like League 1, League 2 if they're lucky. I think the idea is that if they bring them in and get them all playing together, that they could probably. It's like the sum of the parts. Even though individually they might not be all that good, if you play them and they can form like a unit, then maybe they could do something. But I mean, it's a bit rough. It's very rough. They're up against it. They are up against it massively. They haven't had a striker since old Ely. He was a class player. Defenders have gone the old. Was it the one that was at Man United? What's his name? The one. Him. Yeah, he's gone. He's retired. They've all retired. And, Saville's the old dog now. He's like the oldest player in the team, I think. And he played 68 minutes. I didn't get to catch it. It was on BBC iPlayer. I was too busy doing stuff. So, they got absolutely battered. 5-1. It was a friendly, so, they're going back to their clubs at the weekend. Are they going to go Guts and Thunder? Probably not, you know what I mean? So now, Serbia under-21s. Now, I thought they were playing Georgia under-21s. They actually played Georgia under-23s. So they were, up against it until it was age restricted. But they were playing against a team that's got 2 extra years on them. So this is from FSS.RS. It's the match report from the game. Mihailo Ivanovic started. You can see him there. He's on the right. He's the second one from the right. He played, I think, number 18. He's behind in this photo. He's back row on the right. This is the Georgian team. So, the young Serbian national team was defeated in the second test by the Georgian national team, which is 2 years older and is preparing for the upcoming European Championship 2025, which will be held in Slovakia in June. Although 2 years younger, the Serbian team put up a great resistance to Georgia and was almost an equal rival on the field. But the guests were resourceful, especially after the break, and celebrated with a score of 1-3. Now, obviously, this has been translated automatically by Microsoft Edge browser that I'm using. Okay. They did score. It was a penalty. And you can see Ivanovic there playing number 18. Scorers, 0-1 Sigma in the 11th minute. So that Georgia scored first. 1-1 penalty. Mitrovic in the 28th minute. A penalty. And Georgians had a penalty. Made it 2-1 in the 45th plus 2. So first half injury time. And then 3-1 in the 84th minute. The Serbian team. So Ivanovic, he's on the bottom row on the right hand side. He started the game, came off in the 65th minute for Vlahovic. And I don't know, it doesn't seem to get mentioned in the match report. There's pictures there. There he is. But yeah, like I said, under the leadership of Coach Kolarov, the Eaglets previously celebrated against Turkey 0-1 in November, and then Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0 as part of the current preparations in Antalya. Our team has a long period ahead of us and a large number of checks that they will have until the European Championship 2027, which they will play at home. So like I said, the reason why he's in the under-21s and not in the main team is they want the strongest under-21 team they can put out, because they are on home soil in the tournament in 2027. So there you go. So that should be fun. Now this is a bit of a sad one. Scotland under 21s. They got absolutely battered by Iceland's. Absolutely bad sausage. 6-1. They lost 6-1 at the Pinatar Arena. Do you remember that? In Murcia. Is that true? The geezer who scored for Scotland is named One. That can't be true. I think they messed it up. His name is One, and he scored in the 49th minute. So if we read where it says team news, Scotland were without the injured Emilio Lawrence and Daniel Kelly. So Daniel Kelly wasn't in the starting lineup. He wasn't on the bench. He is injured. Oh dear, that's not good. Who both impressed on Friday evening, while Luke Graham also returned to Scotland to feature for Falkirk. Yeah, the game on Friday, I think it was on YouTube. It was against the Republic of Ireland, though I think the Irish was a very young team, but the Scotland did look very good in that game. In this game, obviously, not so good. So if you think Danny Kelly is 18, I think he's just turned 18. He's playing for the under-21s, and when he doesn't play, they get absolutely battered. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Ah yeah, Sheffield United striker Ryan One. Is it Run or is it Oni? Ryan Oni. That's funny. His name's One. That is funny. So yeah, Danny Kelly's injured. Hopefully, obviously he's been missing for the under-21s. He came back. He played in the under-21 game, and then he wasn't in the next one. So it seemed like he'd got injured again. But then he gets called up by Scotland. He goes out there, he plays, and he gets injured again. So it might be one of them where, you know, what do they call them? Injuries where you, like shin splints. You need to rest it. If you don't rest, you aggravate it. But it might be one of them where he needs rest to heal. And if he doesn't rest it, he keeps aggravating it, which is, you know, not good. But there you go. There's your international Lions. I think that's it now. Obviously, I think this was the last day for internationals. No, there's some tomorrow, is there? Wednesday. And then that's the last day. But we don't have any more players. All of our players have played their 2 games, and that's it. So, yeah, it's just a... No, yeah, that's it. There's no more international games. So we can finally focus on Sunderland 3 p.m. kickoff. Let's go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Bye-bye.